Shalum, Shalum, and welcome to this channel. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Symmanayah, and these are the words I'm compelled to present before an awakening, set-apart nation. Yahusha, oh Yahusha, there is no doubt that there are a lot of different narratives about this word salvation or being saved. There's a lot of narratives about being a Hebrew, Israelite, versus the Gentiles, versus those that are grafted together as one. The set-apart Hebrews and the set-apart Gentiles that are made one by Yahusha. There's much discussion whether we should pay attention to whether we're Hebrews or Gentiles or not. And I want you to know this, that yes, we must recognize the different tribes. Otherwise, how can we identify with Revelation 7th chapter that speaks of the 12 tribes and a great multitude? So the things that the scriptures speak of, it will not speak of something that's going to happen if we cannot recognize. I believe the priority is to fulfill the word in its entirety. That means we expect, we recognize, and we acknowledge the children of Yahuwah, the chosen children, the Hebrews. And we acknowledge that through Yahusha, who is the word of Yahuwah manifest before us, it is through him that other nations, Gentiles mean other nations. Now, some translations will say the word Greek. But the bottom line, oh Yahusha, there are two nations warring against each other. But before I continue, let me say this. The views expressed in these messages do not necessarily reflect the views of the owners, managers, shareholders, and or sponsors. With that said, let me continue. We will understand the dynamics, how Yahuwah, who is spirit everywhere at all times, the beginning and the end, offers everlasting life to his children that he draws to his word that was manifest before us in the name of Yahusha, and that his spirit was sent in Yahusha's name. And I'm referencing John 6:44 and John 14:26. With all the commotion, the confusion, and everything that's going on, one thing any person of belief, well, not any, most people of some type of belief are echoing the words that these are the last days. We are in the end times. And everyone is saying, everyone with a belief that we're in the end times have a different narrative on how this is going to end, what's going to happen. The need right now is becoming more and more evident that the world is ending in more ways than we can imagine. But the question is, what are we supposed to be doing? How do we navigate to what is right and what is true? I will present a series that goes step by step, describing my position of belief, how I have come to use the name Yahuwah to represent he who is the Aleph, the Tah, the beginning and the end, he who is light, he who is a consuming fire, and how I grew to learn the name Yahusha reflects his word that he sent, that Yahuwah sent, reflects his word that he sent through the virgin birth, walked among us, demonstrated how we are to engage he who is spirit everywhere at all times, how upon the sacrifice that Yahuwah sent his set-apart spirit in Yahusha's name, that there is no Trinity. The name defines a time in the plan of the Almighty Father. And we will grow to understand that we will grow in unity. It will not be all these different variant names for the Almighty Father or for the Mashiach, his word. We will grow to understand. This series that I will introduce, my brothers and sisters, will go step by step for those who the Almighty Father is drawing away from the confusion and the anxieties. And I call this series Everlasting to Everlasting. This is the introduction to that series. My brothers and sisters, there are no doubt that a major awakening is occurring. Take a moment and decide, my brothers and sisters, how best to pursue your participation in this awakening. And I believe each of us are experiencing a transformation where we are coming away from something told me, or I should have followed my first mind. We're going to come away from that. And I believe in these final days, we will speak with precision and start saying, I believe it is the voice of the Spirit of Yahuwah who comes in Yahusha's name. That's critical because that's how we're able to communicate with the Father. The scriptures that we say we believe clearly, if we discern the life in them, clearly says no man can come into the Father except through the Son. That could also be said, no one can come unto the Father except by his word. You see, people who look at the literal and interpret scriptures based off of their own comprehension skills, their own academic skills, based off of how they were taught to think, will struggle with how the Son of Yahuwah is actually the word of Yahuwah is actually Yahuwah. We will understand those dynamics. And I say, O Yasharal, the series I'm about to present, Everlasting to Everlasting, is not designed to accept compromising beliefs and position. It is designed for those who are drawn by the Almighty Father Yahuwah to Yahusha, his word. Any other arguments regarding this, come away from the grumblings and the dispute, my brothers and sisters. Seek him and him alone. Here are some priority scriptures to consider as the awakening enlarges, my brothers and sisters. You see, there are those who are becoming awake and out of excitement are over eager and over anxious. But I present to you there needs to be an order in which we pursue set apartness and we grow in maturity on how to worship and obey he who gives us life. So there must be a beginning. There must be a starting point. And if that starting point is overzealous, over anxious, too excited, we must slow the process down and look at the most wisest starting point. Because don't we want to know who's drawing us? Don't we want to have the knowledge necessary to navigate this thing we call life? Consider Proverbs 1:7. Proverbs 1:7 says, the fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of knowledge. I'm going to repeat. The fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and discipline. See, if we're overeager, overexcited, not understanding the dynamics of true worship and obedience, our eagerness, our zealousness, our anxiousness will produce what we see, the mass confusion among the set-apart children of Yahuwah. Sure, there are those outside the set-apart family. I'm not concerned with them, for they already have their judgment. These words are to you who are drawn by him, who is the Almighty One. So let us not despise wisdom and discipline. Let us not battle ego against ego. Instead, my brothers and sisters, let us pursue the knowledge that he who is the Almighty One will give us for this journey. Come with me to Proverbs 14:25 and 26. It says, a true witness saves lives, but he who breathes out lies is a betrayer. In the fear of Yahuwah is strong trust. You see, we fear Yahuwah, we begin to gain knowledge. Believe it or not, we begin to gain wisdom and discipline. Let us come away from those who despise it. It goes on to say, in the fear of Yahuwah is strong trust, and his children have a place of refuge. I was compelled to present this, my brothers and sisters, because end times will prove, as the scroll closes, as habitable places on this planet close, as we find those who are physically alive gradually migrating back to the region where life began, the need for refuge has begun to magnify, to be in that safe place. The ultimate safe place for the child of Yahuwah is in the bosom of Abraham. Let us not seek to gain these lives, but seek to lose our life for Yahusha's sake. But a place of refuge, discerning where he who is the Almighty One wants us to be, when, with whom. Come with me to Matthew chapter 6, verses 31 through 34. It says, do not worry then, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? For all these the nations seek for, and your heavenly Father knows that you need all these. Now hear these words carefully, my brother, my sister. But seek first the reign of the Almighty One. And this is the scripture version of my sword, and it uses Elohim. Elohim is plural for mighty ones. You will discover, if you are drawn by him, that there's only one Almighty One, and that is the Almighty Father Yahuwah. It says, in his righteousness, and all these shall be added. So seek him first. He knows the heart. He knows the very intent of each of us. It says, do not then worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow shall have its own worries. Each day has enough evil of itself. Now he's saying here, don't worry, my brothers and sisters, but we have an obligation to grow and pursue him and discern what he has for us. So we're drawn. We will grow beyond the saying, something told me I should have followed my first mind, and I think this and I think that, to beginning to realize that we are being influenced one way or another. There are two nations battling, the set-apart nation of Yahusha and the wicked nation of Esau, whose name was changed to Edom. These are the two nations. And under the banner of Yahusha are all those drawn by the Almighty Father, consisting of both Hebrews and Gentiles who are made one by Yahusha HaMashiach. To believe all this, my brothers and sisters, something we cannot see and touch. Sure, we see set-apart individuals. We see individuals who claim to be set apart. But understand this, that drawing ignites a belief. Let me take you to Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. It says, and belief is the substance of what is expected, the proof of what is not seen. We will grow to understand how we will mature in our belief as we get more and more acquainted in this relationship we have with the Almighty Father through his set-apart word, sent in Yahusha's name. Dropping down to the 6th verse of the book of Hebrews, 11th chapter, it says, but without belief it's impossible to please him. For he who comes to the Almighty One has to believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who earnestly seek him. My brothers and sisters, in this series, I will lay out a path for obtaining a degree of maturity in this set-apart life. Come follow this series. Examine the words I present. Pray. Seek to identify if indeed something inside you grow to realize that you have an inward man, and that with that inward man, the Spirit of Yahuwah is there, speaking to you clearly in Yahusha's name. And you will discover, my brothers and sisters, in this series, means of which in our studying and seeking to discern his voice, how we are to discern when he's working in us, through us, one towards another. Everlasting to everlasting. I don't have all the answers, but if you are drawn to this series, my prayer is that the words I speak comes with the life and confirmation that the Almighty Father has given me and others who will confirm and reaffirm what is indeed set apart and true. So prepare yourself, O Yahusha, as I introduce this series, Everlasting to Everlasting. I will speak step by step on things that will ignite your path to the point where it would be visible, where the set-apart life of Yahuah will shine through you and through those who are ordered to become part of your pathway. Yahusha, O Yahusha, everlasting to everlasting. I pray that I'm able to meet the expectations that I presented in this introduction, and I pray that you stay tuned, for there's so much work to be done. There's a lot to learn. We don't have to battle and fight unfruitfully trying to force someone to believe what we believe. If you are one who are in disagreement, put your disagreement in a question. Let us be as iron sharpen iron. But if you are one who wants to battle and shove your position of belief on me or others, this is not the platform to do so. This is the platform to be as iron sharpen iron and to explore whether what one is saying is true or not. The scriptures tell us, seek and we shall find, ask and we will receive answers. But it also lets us know that because of ill intent, because of sinful and wicked behaviors, there are some that the Almighty Father will purposely blind. Let us discern and identify those who are not blinded, who have every intent to fall into the path that brings about unity of the set-apart ones of Abba Yahuah. I look forward to you interacting, and soon and very soon I will begin to do live broadcasts and engage those who are drawn to that broadcast and those whom I am drawn to, as I believe the Spirit of the Almighty Father will dictate. On that note, stay tuned, Yahusha. Let's get into it. I look forward to your participation. I look forward to meeting some of you. On that note, I will leave you with these words. Be encouraged and be comforted. This plan belongs to the Almighty Father, and all that is about to unfold, no one can stop it. On that note, Shalum. Shalom, my brother, my sister, my family.